Hey now, normally when I cook brisket, I do like 6 at a time and use my massive brick smokehouse. However, this time I'm just doing one, so it's a great opportunity to use my Pit Boss 700 FB. Let's do it. So what I have here is still a sizable brisket. It is 15 and a half pounds, which is a pretty good size. Now I am going to trim off just a little bit of this meat. I always find on the one side of the brisket, the fat is really quite thick. And even though I like fat in my brisket, I don't want to have these massive globs of it afterwards because I'm the only one that would eat that. So I'm going to trim it down so it's more like a ½ inch or so rather than an 1.5 inches of fat. All right, we're all trimmed up here and it's time to get the spice rub on. I've put this brisket in this meat lug here. It just barely fits. I'm going to be adding this nice little spice rub that I've got here. Now this is, I'll put the actual recipe in the video description, but it's essentially a blend of paprika, black pepper, kosher salt, turbinado sugar, chili powder, garlic powder, onion powder, and cayenne. I'm giving it just a nice sprinkle all over. I'm going to give it a little rub slash pat here, just to work a little bit more of that onto the meat. And I'm actually doing this the day before I'm cooking. I'd like this to really have a decent amount of time to get into the meat and just flavor it as much as possible. Now we have a decent amount of rub on here. I know that there are different schools of thought insofar as, some people are like, oh, just give me salt and pepper on it, and that's totally fine. I think as long as you're eating brisket, you're doing the right thing. My family prefers having this little spice rub on there, so we're going to go with that. This whole meat lug, fortunately, will slide right into my refrigerator, and I'm going to let it sit in there for now. Dave the cook, I've just fired up the smoker here. And now that the old Pit Boss 700 FB is producing some smoke, I'm going to sit over here at 225 Fahrenheit. I'm going to let her go. After a couple of hours, it is time to spray it down here with my J spray. So this is just a blend of bourbon, maple syrup, and soy sauce. Giving it a nice spritz to help keep everything nice and moist and flavorful. I also have my meter plus temperature probe here, which is helping keep an eye on the temperature for me. 4 hours in, this is starting to darken up. I'm spritzing this down about every 30 minutes or so just to keep it nice and moist. Here we are almost at temperature, so I'm just going to turn off Pit Boss here and let it rest for a little bit in here. Whew! Okay, so after letting this rest, it's time to slice into it and see exactly what we're working with here. Oh yeah. That bark has just enough give to it. Look at that. Nice small little smoke ring going around. A little bit of a jiggle. Everything I'm looking for in a beautifully cooked brisket. Oh baby, I am not going to torture you by making you watch me eat this brisket, but rest assured it is absolutely delightful. Really, really happy using the Pit Boss on this. This worked like an absolute charm on this brisket here. So yeah, anytime I do a solo run from now on, it's absolutely going to be with the Pit Boss 700 FB. So there we go. Brisket, easy peasy, delicious in my mouth. And until next time, keep it at 11.